So I'm at home after having spent the whole day at my mom's house. Um, we spent most of the day at my mom's house. They grilled out, and so I had some like a Beyond Burger and some vegan hot dogs and some corn and stuff and some cake and ice cream. Uh, and my mom was like, "Oh, let's go visit some graves." And I was like grandpa and grandma, and they were like, "Yeah." And we're gonna go visit my stepdad's mom's grave, Grandma Abig, and then my because at my her at the same cemetery that his mother's graves at is my mom's grandparents' graves at my mom's mother's parents' graves, the Bormas. Um, so because it's like Ferris and oh god, I don't remember what his wife's name is. But it's the Bormas. My grandmother who walked up and down the highway and got hit by a car. Um, so that's a story. So my grandmother, they're pretty sure had onset dementia or schizophrenia because of her menopause, and so she used to walk around in these like plastic heels, but she would walk everywhere and she would walk along the highway and stuff, and she got hit by a car. But she would do things like she would jump rope on the porch and stuff, and she would do all sorts of crazy stuff. Uh, why am I crazy? Grandma, great grandma. It just runs in the family. uh, it's genetic. um, it runs on both sides because the Whipple side of my family has a lot of bipolar disorder too. My like three of my cousins, like two of my cousins on my uh, mom's side have bipolar disorder, and two of my cousins, like three of my cousins on my dad's side, have bipolar disorder. And my great grandmother had schizophrenia, and yeah, it just runs. It just runs throughout the family. That's why I can't have kids. Don't want to give them that genetic lottery. Anyway, so the Bormas are at the same cemetery as my stepdad's mom's grave, Grandma Abig, and so is my grandmother's sisters, Pat and Nancy. So they're at that same grave site. But for some reason, it doesn't have their death days on there. It only has their birth years on there, and I thought that was really strange. But I'm glad they brought me along because they took me to the cemetery where my grandparents were, and I found I remembered where the funeral was for my grandfather, and I remembered where their grave was, and so I found their grave before my mom did, and I was like, "They're over here, they're under this tree," and she was like, "Oh my goodness," and I was like, "Yeah." Because they were like way off to the left. And I was like, where are you going? They're over here. I know they're off to the right. They're off this way. She was like, oh, okay. We would have found him eventually, she said. But, so we get to see my grandparents and my great grandparents, uh, Ferris and his wife, and my great aunts, Pat and Nancy, and my step grandmother, who I wasn't really close to her. She didn't want to be close to us kids. But, she had this wonderful house, though. It was this Victorian house. She didn't take care of it very well, but it was such a beautiful house. Um, uh, Up in Rothbury. Um, and yeah, it was wonderful. Um, but yeah, I've never been really close to my stepdad's side of the family just because they are kind of not they're not very friendly people. They're very shut off people, very closed off kinds of people. They only really want to know Bob, and they never really cared about his kids at all. Never cared about us. Never cared about getting to know the family at all. Just really like nope. Like his brother didn't talk to him for years, like over a situation that happened with, I don't remember what it was. It was a wedding or something, and I don't know. It was such a weird situation, and they didn't talk for years and years and years, and then they finally started talking again, but they're just very closed off. I don't know. It's kind of a drama. I, I don't know, but at least they're talking now. But they're kind of strange people, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't want to talk bad about them, but I don't know them very well. I never got to know them. Uh, yeah, but I'm sad she's dead. She seemed like a nice enough lady. She just was kind of a cold lady. I think she got to know my nephews. She was closer with my nephews than she was with us. I think it's just because there were so many of us kids, and you know, I think that was a hard thing because we had such a big family, and a lot of people were really turned off by the fact that there were so many of us kids. And so, because we didn't get invited to like birthday parties and stuff like that, and we didn't get invited to like events and things because there were just so many of us kids, and people didn't want us around for certain things. Like, if it was like for everybody and like they wanted like the whole family there, maybe, but like most of the time they would just not invite us. We're just not invited. And I guess it's fine, because that's a lot of kids, a lot of mouths to feed, and that's just a lot. So I understand as an adult, but as a kid, it was kind of othering. Kind of felt like, oh, you don't want us, you don't accept us. But it felt, yeah, it felt bad. Like, oh, you don't accept us, you don't want us there, you don't want us around. But even as an adult, like, they'll invite my mom and stuff to things, but they won't invite the cousins or anything like that. And it's like, you know, that's a little crappy. That and like we didn't get invited to like my cousin's wedding and stuff like that. It's the Tyler family is not great. Not great when it comes to planning events, that they don't reach out to each other. Like, they don't go, hey, we've got this event, maybe you want to come. No, no, no. But if it came to us, they would definitely, we would definitely invite all of the family. But yeah, whatever. But I don't usually celebrate things anymore. I didn't celebrate my college graduation because I didn't want to make a big deal about. I don't make a big deal about events anymore. Like I didn't celebrate my college graduation, and I'm probably not going to celebrate my master's graduation, um, just because it's. I don't need a big party. I don't need to do all that. What for? I'm not a big into celebrating because I'm such an introvert. I'm just like, take me out to dinner or something. We'll just go out to dinner and have a good time. Because I don't need people's money or anything like that, or like big gifts or anything like that. I just, just take me out to dinner and we'll just have like a good time or something. I don't, I don't want to ask people for money or anything, you know? Mm, no. Because that's all those parties are. It's just grifting. What's the point? What's the point in doing that? I don't want to grift my family for stuff. Uh, are you all done? My cat was curled up under the blanket with me, and now he's emerged like a butterfly from a cocoon. Uh, um, God, I've been talking for 12 minutes about my family. Oh goodness, is it a little dramatic? It's a little dramatic. But I like my immediate family, like my siblings. I get along with my siblings pretty well. Well, maybe not my step siblings, but my siblings, for the most part. I haven't been talking to my sister Nicole, but that's because she voted for Trump. I'm kind of mad at her right now. She voted for Trump, and so I'm kind of not talking to her right now. Kind of mad at her right now. But I did call my sister Jessica during this last tornado thing, and I did ask her to check on her to make sure she was all right. Because even though I'm mad at her, I don't want her to get in, because she lives in a trailer. I don't want her to get into trouble just because I'm mad at her, you know. And she did send me a check because she has been selling stuff on eBay for me. She cut me a check for it, and I told her to say thank you to her. So I'm not talking to her right now because I'm mad at her for the Trump thing, but that affects my life, and I'm just a little angry about it. I'm a little bitter, a little bitter. So I'm just not talking to her right now, but I'm sure I'll get over it eventually. Maybe in 4 years when Trump is out of office. I don't know. I just really dislike Trump. Really dislike Trump. I mean, that's one thing to vote Republican. You vote Republican, that's one thing. Fine, whatever. But like, he's like dismantling court systems. I'm laughing because I want to cry. I'm like, that's probably bad. It's probably not so good. Nothing I can do about it as a plebeian. I'm, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. Uh, I'm just like, well, I don't know. I'm at the whim of my government. I didn't vote for this, but here I am, waiting out to see what happens. This sucks. My sister voted for this. Great, great, great. At least I don't feel I've kind of just like I'm at the point of where I don't feel impending dread every single second of the day, but I feel impending doom pretty much like I'm just kind of like nothing matters anymore, so I might as well just kind of like laugh it off because it's just like, what else is there to do? What else is there to do? Like, I feel what else? What else do you do? What else do you do? just just live your life. Live your life. Cuz the people in leadership just do not care about your well-being or safety. They just want to dismantle everything. So you might as well just live life to your fullest. And hopefully, I mean, times are dire. Times are dire. We are in. It is rough out there. It is rough out there. I am terrified. I am absolutely. I wake up and I'm just like a shiver. You ever get those like shivers that just run through your whole body and you're just like, I get that all the time. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna hopefully live today. And hopefully nothing bad happens. And then it turns into like a swirling anger towards my sister. And then I just start laughing to like laugh it off. But like, I'm so angry. I'm so angry that I just don't even know what to do with myself. That's kind of where I'm at. So, like, nothing bothers me other than the fact that, like, I'm so angry that I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm so upset. I don't even know what to do with myself. So I just meditated off. I meditated off. And, like, I keep myself calm. But, like, I have such an indignant justice, such an indignation about what's happening that I do not know what to do with myself. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And it's such a such a regular feeling that I don't even know what it's going to be like. It's the immediate relief that I felt when he lost the election the last time, when he's not in office. It feels the relief that I feel when he's not president is immense. Like knowing that he's not dismantling the Constitution when he's not president, when someone else is president, especially someone Democratic who at least adheres to the Constitution and the rule of law, the immense relief and the amount of rest that I get is immense. The amount of deep. I have started to listen to ASMR to try to sleep at night. And that's where I'm at. Because I just do not get the amount of restful sleep otherwise. Because my brain is just constantly needing to relax, and I just cannot relax otherwise. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. It's not mania. It's not mania. It's general dread. Cue car horn. Of course, talking about dread and a car horn goes off. I mean, why not? Why not? I'm getting through it though. Meditation helps. That's all I have to say. Is if you are feeling dread, if you're feeling dread about the state of the world, meditation helps. That's all I can say. Just, I do transcendental meditation. That helps me immensely, immensely. Because that helps keep me like not going over the edge of despair. Because that keeps me laughing. That's why I laugh, is so I don't scream. Is that meditation keeps me laughing, keeps me feeling like I can, makes me feel less crazy. It makes me feel less crazy in the surreal world. Also, gardening. I have my plants. I have my plants. Gardening really does have an effect. I don't know what it is about. I'm staring at my. Let me show you. Hang on. I've got my those are my herbs. I've got some cilantro. I got some cilantro right there, and I've got some thyme and some sage, and I think that's mint. And I've got some lavender growing on the edges right there. So I'm just growing my herbs, and then I don't know if you can see my other plants. I've got a basil plant growing right there, and then I just chopped up my lettuce plants because they were massive. They were massive. And I was like, I gotta cut you down to size. They're starting to grow again, though. My cat was eating them. he was like, he was like, oh. Before I didn't mind that he was chewing on them because they were getting so big, and I was like, yeah, chew that lettuce, go for it. But I'm like, you can't chew them when they're cut down because there's nothing to chew. But when they get big, I'm like, sure, go to town. But he doesn't know the difference. He just is like, yummies, yummies. Anyway, that's my update. I have nothing to talk about. Just drama, I guess. Just stupid drama. No. How do you meow at your cat? This is what I'm talking about. This is what meditation does. It keeps me laughing. You've got to laugh so you don't cry. Hello, Larity. Hello. Hello. Aren't you cute? Hello. All right, I'm off. I'll see you later. Bye.